Hi everybody, this is Megzabo69 with Take the Red Pill. This video is going to be addressed, my addressing FaceWhatsAhead again. You have continued on with this whole, actually we have continued on with this whole topic of this pastor using the N-word. And so I guess I'm going to elaborate a little bit more based upon your last video. Now, one thing that you mentioned is you said that, you're an atheist. And that's okay, that's fine. It is also irrelevant to the topic at hand. Whether you're an atheist or not, that has no bearing as to what you think about if this person used a disparaging term or not. Excuse me. You made mention and said, you asked me a question. You said, do I agree with you that we have a black president? Well, that's not something to agree or disagree about. It's a fact. Whether I would like it or not, whether anybody likes it or not, it's a fact. So it's not a thing of agreeing that we have something there. I think you're really missing a lot of things here. You said having a black president is a violation of American history. Now, I definitely understood what you meant by that, but I still disagree with that. I would not call it a violation of American history, because here's the thing. It has nothing to do with really American history. If you think about it, it's more evolution. You see, we have evolved from the way we used to think. From the way it was the norm that, anybody that was not Caucasian was oppressed. We have evolved from that. I'm not saying that it no longer happens, because it still is alive and well today. Oppression of different minority groups, oppression of women, not being treated equally as men are. Things like that still happen. So don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that we've completely gotten out of there. I'm just saying that we have evolved. And so if we had not evolved from that, then yes, we would still be back in the Stone Age or back to 1950s, what have you. But it is because the American society as a whole has evolved that we now have a black president. And so to say that it's a violation of American history, I disagree with that. I just simply see it as seeing it as we evolved from the way we used to think. And so, we cannot use that as an example to say, okay, so we evolved from that, so we should evolve from thinking that the N-word is not a disparaging term anymore, and now it's a okay term to use. If that was a correlation you were trying to make, I would have to say that is definitely a poor example, and there is no real good correlation or meaning behind any of those things. You said that, again, like I said, to me, saying, using the whole concept of, we've evolved, what do you call that? The violating of the American history and having a black president, that cannot be a justification for using disparaging terms. Honestly, to me, that's like being out of touch with reality. Because you go anywhere, I don't care where you go, there is nobody who's going to turn around and tell you that that is not a disparaging term. I don't care if, you got people out in the streets. They know good and well that that term, well, some people, they use that term in a friendly manner, saying, hey, what's up, my, what? As in, what's up, friend? Others use it as, you stupid, what? But the thing is this. Okay, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. And the reason I keep looking down is because sometimes I can elaborate a lot. I'm really big on philosophy, and sometimes I can elaborate a little bit too much, or just keep going on and on and on and on a topic. So I'm just trying to keep myself focused, with the notes I make, and say, okay, let me go from logically one step to another. So here's the other thing. I'm not trying to tell you or the pastor what is it that you meant by using the N-word. I think you are either missing the point or you are purposely goalpost shifting. Because here's the thing. If you're saying that using the N-word means human, you know, I can turn around and say, okay, well, actually, hold on a second. Here's an example. I can turn around right now and say, yeah, let me walk up to somebody and say, hey, man, I think you're an idiot, and smile at them. And I can say, well, to me, the word idiot means you're an awesome person. But does that really change the meaning of the word itself? No, it doesn't. Idiot has always been somewhat of a disparaging term. It always has been associated with negativity. You're an idiot, you're dumb, you're stupid. You know, the word idiot is associated more so with words like that than smart, good looking, or anything positive in a positive light. And so, again, using a disparaging term and saying, oh yeah, here's what it means to me, that does not change, or it doesn't change the meaning of the word, nor does it negate the fact that that word is a disparaging term. So I don't understand how you're failing to see and or understand that. Racism, and I'm not saying you're a racist or anything like that, but racism is still well and alive today in the U.S. There was a friend of my wife posted something on Facebook earlier, and I was like, wow, I was appalled. And here's what happened. There was a flight from somewhere. It was landing to Atlanta, and this lady, single mother, she had a baby with her. As the plane was making its descent and landing, the baby started crying, and the guy, I'm not sure what nationality he was, you know, but the guy who was sitting right next to her turned around and said, "Shut that N-word baby of yours up," and then turned around and slapped the baby. Now, they're in federal court right now, because the minute you get on a plane, that's federal jurisdiction. But the thing is, he used that disparaging term against the baby. Now, here's the thing. More likely than not, if the baby was quiet throughout the whole flight and started crying while the plane was landing, and if anybody has taken a plane ride, you will know this. So, as a plane is making its descent, a lot of times there's a pressure differential, and so sometimes your ears will hurt. I know it has happened to me many times before. And some people talk about different things of like, you know, you can chew gum, which has never worked for me. And something that has worked for me is like, you know, you hold your nose and you blow hard, you know, not letting any air come out your mouth or nose, and then your ears will you know, your ears will pop outward, so to speak, and everything will equalize. And then you no longer have that pressure and pain on your ears. But you cannot expect a 2-year-old toddler to know this. You cannot expect a 2-year-old toddler to turn around and, you know, blow hard, and you can't expect that. So more than likely, that's the reason that toddler started crying. But this guy got so upset that he called that baby that disparaging N-word term, and then slapped the baby. Now here's the thing. Even if he did not slap the baby, the fact that he used that disparaging term like that, that just shows how racism and, you know, things of that nature is just still alive today. And so to turn around and condone this pastor's behavior and say that, you know, him using that N-word is okay, well, no, it's not okay. You know, there's a point in time where we need to really face reality and say what is going on in the world. And, you know, I don't care if it's African Americans talking to each other and saying, hey, you know, what's up? That doesn't make it okay. That doesn't make it all right just because they use it. Because here's the funny thing about it. You'll see a lot of African Americans. You'll see some. I'm not gonna say a lot. Excuse me, because that's incorrect. But you will see African Americans using those terms with each other, and they're totally okay with it. You let somebody else, like an Asian, a Caucasian, somebody else outside of their race, call them that, and they will want to jump that person, even though that person may be using it in the exact same manner that they were using in the first place, they want to go ahead and get upset and jump that person. Why is that? Well, here's one theory I have. Here's one hypothesis I have about that. That is because the word is still a disparaging term. They decide that they're going to use it in a friendly term towards each other, but no, deep down inside, it is not an okay term to use. So when somebody else outside of their race uses it, they flip their lid. But guess what? I believe in equality, and if you can use it amongst each other, you should not be able to be upset that somebody else is going to use it with you. And so the whole thing is, don't use it in the first place, because bottom line, again, it's a disparaging term. Regardless of how you want to use it and say, oh, to me it means such and such, that does not change the meaning of the word. You can go look it up in the dictionary. You can go look it up anywhere else. It does not mean human. It doesn't mean anything in a positive manner whatsoever. So your comments on it, to me, are really pointless, you know. And this is not, and don't get me wrong, this is not about a thing of whether we like each other or we don't like each other. This has nothing to do with it. It's just simply the fact that, you know, if a term is disparaging, then it's disparaging. That's it. There's no way around it. You know, again, like I told you in the first video, you know, if your mission was to try to, you know, get me to see things your way about that term and, you know, to change my mind about it, you will never win that. That's not something that you will ever convince me of. Because again, you can ask anybody. It's not a term that's, you know, being put in a positive manner. So anyway, one other thing I want to address is, you said something to the effect of, you know, my telling you my history, you know, where I came from and things of that nature. What's the relevancy in that? I mean, it doesn't make a difference how I was brought up or what I went through in my life. That has no bearing on anything. The bottom line is, again, the term is what it is. Anyway, this is Megzable69 with Take the Red Pill. Hopefully, a lot of people out there have taken their red pill. So until next time, we'll talk to you. We'll see ya.